All right, so we want to be able to take data sets and identify peaks, symmetry, gaps, clusters in line plots. So when we're looking at this, it says that we want to see if it's true or false that there's a cluster from 16 to 18, which there is because there's lots of dots over those three, so that's true. There's a gap between 22 and 23, which that is true because there's none above 22 and 23. Now, the data set is symmetric. That means if I fold it in half, it's the same on both sides, which is false. That's not true. The peaks of the data set, meaning my highest points come at 16 and 18, which we can go ahead and check. All right, doing this again, it says that the peak of the data set is at, and I see that my highest point's at 29 ounces. True or false that there's a gap between 28 and 30. That's definitely not a gap. That's what we'd consider a cluster. Then it's saying there's a cluster between 31 and 32, which that's not true. That would be a gap. Now, my data set is symmetric. I see that if I would fold it in half, it's the same on both sides. So that part is true, which we can go ahead and check. Last one, true or false, there's a gap 7 and 8, which is true. There's a cluster between 7 and 8. No, that they both cannot be true. Then the data set is symmetric. If you fold it in half, it's definitely not the same on both sides, so that is also false. The last fill in the blank, the peak of the data set is at, and we see that that's at 9 miles, which we can go ahead and check. That's how you identify peaks, symmetry, and gaps and clusters in a line plot.